once again to the Outer Banks, where Zach has been and patiently waiting the arrival of Dorian.
Yeah, and we're seeing these bands of rain coming on through. One is just now beginning once again, so rain coming in sideways as we have winds that are 25, maybe even 30 miles per hour sustained, at least right down here on the beach, with some higher gusts. And we'll get one of these rain bands about every half hour or so, and it just stings the liquid, the droplets, because it's coming in so fast. And this is nothing compared to what we're going to have later on tonight and into tomorrow. Let me show you the latest on Dorian. And the winds, interestingly, they were knocked back a little bit for the 5 p.m. advisory, down to 105 miles per hour, and then at a 6 p.m. update, they were raised again to 110 miles per hour. So that's where we are right now, a very strong Category 2 hurricane, and it's moving to the northeast at 10 miles per hour. That track is going to take it closer to the coast tonight and likely making a landfall, maybe skirting right along the North Carolina Outer Banks and moving just a little south and east of here during the day tomorrow. Now, what we've seen with this hurricane is that we have a radius of hurricane force winds. They extend outward about 60 miles, but there's also a huge area of tropical storm force winds that extend outward about 220 miles from the center of the hurricane. So even if it doesn't make landfall, and it hasn't so far, at least not in the continental United States, at least or the only place that we've seen it hit so far has been in the Bahamas, but in the United States, it's been close. But we've seen these winds coming inland because that wind field is so large. Another thing that we've had to contend with and will continue with again is the potential for tornadoes. That's because of the wind shear. And what happens is when you have wind coming from the water onto land, water is relatively frictionless for the most part. So as the winds come in, the lower part of the wind, when it hits land, it slows down considerably, while the winds aloft, they keep going at the same speed. So you might have winds at the surface at 30 miles an hour, winds aloft at 50 miles an hour, and that difference through height gives you wind shear, which creates the potential for tornadoes. And we saw quite a few of those in South Carolina early today, and I do expect more tornadoes will develop through the Carolinas, maybe even into Virginia, as Dorian moves up the coast. So for more on what to expect with this, let's go inside to meteorologist Mike Stone. Mike?
Thanks, Zach. This storm is a monster on the satellite. In fact, as we fly underneath it, you can see where some of the heaviest rain is now, pummeling the Carolinas. This storm will continue tracking to the northeast, but the heavier rain will start moving in from the south and east. We have a new tornado watch that includes Norfolk and Virginia Beach down into eastern North Carolina. So when those winds come on shore that Zach was talking about, they hit the friction and they spin up these tornadoes. That threat will stay to our southeast. No worries about that. But we're starting to see some of the showers coming in from the east and the southeast, mainly well south of Richmond. But gradually later tonight, this batch of rain is going to start tracking a little bit farther northward. We continue with a tropical storm warning for eastern Virginia. It's east of I-95, especially the northern neck, Middle Peninsula down into the Hampton Roads area. Rain will continue coming up from the south. It'll turn steadier overnight tonight into the daybreak tomorrow. Heaviest rain will be down towards southeastern Virginia, but as the day progresses, the rain's going to exit here pretty quickly west to east by mid to late morning, and even our far eastern counties will start to dry out by mid-afternoon. So biggest impact going to be down by Virginia Beach, where they could see some gusts over 60 miles an hour, 3 to 6 inches of rain with some isolated higher amounts, a lot of storm surge, a lot of coastal flooding. As we go into that tropical storm warning area, some gusts may be over 50 miles an hour, storm surge and flooding near some of the coastal areas. About a half an inch to an inch of rain across just east of Richmond, but some of these sections here south and east may see over 2 inches of rain. Within the metro, about 20 to 40 mile an hour gusts, maybe a few spots a little bit higher, about a 1/4 inch to 1 inch of rain. And then far western Virginia, we'll see the least amount of rain and the lighter wind gusts, about 20 to 30 miles an hour. Our 7-day forecast will look like this. 78 for tomorrow, 84 and nice on Saturday, 83 on Sunday, and maybe an isolated storm Monday and Thursday. But high temperatures will climb back up through the 80s next week. Candace?
Thanks, Mike. Remember, the Weather Authority is watching Dorian very closely for you. Check WTVR.com and check the breaking news and weather apps for updates.
And to make sure you're up to date on Dorian and any more school closings, we'll see you back here at 7 and 11 tonight. And then we're going on extra early tomorrow. CBS 6 This Morning starts at 4 a.m. and we'll have live reports from Jake Burns in the Outer Banks and Nikki D. Ray in the Northern Neck. Lane?
Thanks, Bill. Coming up in sports, Redskins running back Adrian Peterson had some interesting news to share at Redskins Park today. And we'll preview tonight's Beyond the Roster about a Chesterfield boy running circles around his competition.
Closets by Design, When you think closet,